Hey Scorpio, I hope that you're all doing well. What I'm seeing be the vibe and the energy right now is connected with things feeling like it's kind of windy emotionally. It can feel like it's hard to kind of like grasp what exactly is going on, and you can be having like a whole different, it's like the wheel keeps spinning emotionally. It's like you're feeling this, then you're feeling that, then this thing over there, but it feels almost hard to like grab onto one thing and kind of keep that even stationary. Speaking of wheels, we are looking at the Wheel of Fortune to begin with. Wheel of Fortune speaks about fate and destiny and chance, and also change and expansion. So there can be something going on where you like, you don't really know which way this is gonna go, like where the roller coaster is gonna take you next. It feels kind of unpredictable. I think you're gonna start getting some support you were not seeing before. Okay. I'm hearing keep it up. I think that this support that you're going to get is going to help you through a time where you can feel like you've been sort of experiencing disappointment after disappointment. Now there's some type of change that's happening. I think in general, like things have been feeling kind of unpredictable lately. Like this feeling of not really being in control of what's happening, but then it's like trying to participate in life, but then feeling like the wheel keeps getting like grabbed from you and then steering in a different direction, and then you're just like handed it. It just feels kind of like random the way that things have been taking place here. And there's definitely not this feeling of being content with the way that things have been going, and you can feel kind of like you've been on a bit of a roller coaster emotionally. I get the sense of something finally being taken off the shelf now. You have been like doing your best to make something come alive here, and it feels like it just hasn't been going that way, but now I'm seeing something shift within the energy, and it feels even like the whole point of what you've been trying to do, it gets activated, but something was going on before where this wasn't happening. You've been having to be very, very patient. There's something very particular about the time that I'm seeing here. It's like it wasn't time for something to start again and again and again and again. You could have been feeling frustrated from a place of like sadness about what it was that was happening. But now I'm seeing it be like still holding out, and for good reason. Because it's like this thing. It's like you kept telling the bartender what it is that you wanted, the bartender being your guides here in the universe. You kept telling them what you wanted, and they kept grabbing different things, and you're like, that's not what I ordered, that's not what I ordered, I didn't ask for that. It feels so frustrating, like you see the thing that you want, but it's like they won't grab it off the shelf, and now it feels like pulling it off the shelf finally, and you've been having to wait, and it's like that's gonna take even more of a process now. Like, so you can have something actually in front of you now, something that's going to be materializing, but there's also a process that's going to have to happen with that as well. So it feels a lot of like you've been kept waiting again and again and again. As I said before, something very, very particular about the timing of this, but it can be kind of colored by this process not having been meeting your expectations. Can be waiting for something to fall into place emotionally, on an interpersonal level, on a spiritual level. It's like it's been creating and like causing growth, but in a difficult way. Because you definitely have been expanding and emerging, but it's definitely taken a lot of patience on the emotional front, which feels upsetting at times, frustrating at times, sad at times. I'm definitely getting like this has been meant to be teaching you wisdom, but at the same time you can feel like it's kind of, you feel like kind of salty. I think just feeling protective of yourself. Like I've been disappointed so many times that now I actually feel a type of way. I wonder if you're gonna find this like seeping its way into your thinking, your words, maybe your communication, because there is a frustration here. Like I've been trying to do this and I feel like I've been being held back and I don't want to be held back anymore. And I think that after like being disappointed or hurt or sad so many times, it's like then you start feeling angry, or you start feeling just something within you that maybe doesn't feel good to harbor, but at the same time you can feel like that's how you're feeling in response to what's going on, and it can have you feeling like I don't feel like I'm in control of what's happening here. And you can feel like a bit of a severing that's been taking place too, and then it's like you're trying to learn from this part of yourself and work with this part of yourself, and you feel like at your core you're actually like very, very sensitive and very, very emotional, but the way that you can be like coming across right now can be like sort of guarded, because you feel like I have been open and then these things have been happening and now I feel like I need to protect myself because I don't want to keep getting hurt. I don't want to keep feeling disappointed. I don't want to be let down again. So I think that there's just like some armor. There can be a part of you that's still like, but I don't want to give up. Because I get this sense of your guide sort of coaching you through something, but you can feel like it's really difficult to not just lose all sense of hope moving through this. Your guides are like, if you don't give up, the portal's gonna open, and you're like, I don't know. I just get this feeling of like kind of being done. But the thing is that I'm seeing something is going to be happening here with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like then things start going your way, but they hadn't been going your way before. And how do you liberate yourself from the chains of your past to be able to elevate? And how do you not give up? How do you kind of work with the universal time frame at play here, while understanding more and more deeply what it is that you want to create within your life, and to actually be open and receptive to that rather than shut down? Because I think like you've been through situations that I think have put you in this place of feeling like there are things that you want and you can be aware of these things, but you can feel like not the most trusting of the universe and sort of what it presents to you because you've been disappointed in the past. And the way that this has kind of forced you to deal with things that have not been easy to deal with, things that have actually been very activating and triggering for your ego, which then kind of like bleeds into, I think, like what you dream as being possible within your life. The interesting thing is that I am seeing a Two of Cups that you have here, so there's a connection here, But I'm seeing this Five of Swords, which feels like I'm like protecting myself from this connection, even though it's a Two of Cups. So I don't know if, let's actually clarify. I think this is just like, I don't want to be let down, and that's where this is coming from. Because from everything that I'm seeing you actually be pretty clear on what you want, and I'm seeing there be something about like not giving up, even though you've gone through upsets before. But yeah, I wonder if you have somebody here that's wanting to connect with you with the Two of Cups. But with that Five of Swords, you can be like, I don't want to let you in because what if you disappoint me? I'm getting like breakfast foods coming in. Is there anything else to this? Maybe you feel like there's some stuff that you haven't fully integrated, so you like don't always know what's safe and what's not, and maybe you're just like assuming here. Yeah, this is like one of those ironic times where it's like you actually do want to connect so badly, but you can be like protecting yourself from the thing that you want. It's like you wanted to connect, like you wanted a friend, you've been so lonely, and the universe like presents you with someone and you're like, stay away from me. I get kind of that here with this. Which means that there's something going on, there's heart chakra work that has to happen here, because you can be looking at something, feeling triggered by it, and it's like actually the thing that you want, but you can be like, it's better to keep this away from me and to keep my heart protected, because what if I allow myself to want this and connect with it and then I get hurt again, because I've been hurt before. It feels like this. So right now you can be going through a period. For many of you, I'm seeing another person be involved in this situation. I feel like it's time for things to get better here, but you can just be like actually scared. Scared of the opportunity in front of you. It really does come from a place of you feeling very sensitive and feeling like you've been hurt and let down and that things have not gone your way. But these things, they're meant to, I think, open your mind. Like stuff has happened and it's meant to teach you. I think like stuff having to do with your ego specifically. And I think how to temper things when they don't go exactly like you want it to. Because this is like really feeling like a strong Mars energy, like Scorpio, Aries energy. To me, the way that this is coming across, where it's like, you know, we can be kind of demanding within the energy, like this on my terms in the way that I want it to be. Like I want to be the one that's in control. And then it's like repeatedly you're put in these situations where you are like, you have to surrender and things feel out of your grasp and out of your control, and it feels frustrating and it feels upsetting, and it's like all of this ego work that's been being done. But now you can feel like it's kind of hardened you off a bit. And so even though there's like something that you would want, a Two of Cups here, to connect with, and probably the thing that you want most, you can feel kind of like, I know this trick, I've seen this before, thinking that this is something that's gonna like bite you, when really it's something that you would enjoy to connect with. So it feels like it's about seeing that. But I think you're still like, you can feel angry about past things that have happened. You can still be holding on to stuff, like you haven't dissolved those things yet. meaning these things have not been processed. So these are like ego issues here. Meaning that these things, they've activated your sun energy, which means that there couldn't be stuff that happened that like hurt your pride and even your self-expression. I'm even hearing something about inflammatory. So, you know, like this can be something that's burned you to your core, but at the same time, like you can choose for it to be a cleansing type of fire that can like really define what it is that you want for yourself. And it's meant to like empower your dreams and the vision that you have for your life rather than to put out your fire. But right now you can just feel like really, really, really guarded, like a lot of armor that's on. And I'm seeing something that wants to connect with you here. But if you're not in an open heart space and vulnerability, it feels like you're not receptive to it. So it's like it can't access you, which is so ironic because it's like this is the thing that you want. So you're like protecting yourself from the thing that you want most desperately, which is that sense of connection. So yeah, you can have like the door closed and locked and you're like, I'm not letting anybody in here. And then it's like you feel so lonely. And you know that this is like on your mind and that it's like on your soul blueprint. This is something that you want to be doing and you have the possibility of doing it here. It just feels like being closed off to the connection. You can feel like you're still growing, you're still learning, you're still expanding. I really think that what you're going to find be at the core of this is that there's stuff that you have felt like deeply saddened by, deeply disappointed by. Like you have really felt like your expectations were sky high and you got dropped the distance from all the way there down to the ground, and that there is still pain from those falls that you have not integrated. And so you are not like free of that karmic baggage. And so even though you have something here that can be maybe the epitome of what it is that you want, you can feel like you're blocking yourself off from it because of not integrating what has happened. Because this is meant to like, I think that you have something here that can actually liberate you from the pain that you've experienced and be a good experience for you. But if you're in a spot where you're like not recognizing that because you're closed off, that's going to be a different story. So that can kind of be, it feels like the vibe of what's being dealt with right now. How do you go through the most difficult things in life and stay soft and keep your heart open so that you can be receptive to the right things when they come in? Because I am seeing something that feels like a right thing, but you still being like guarded against it. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.